What's up, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me all right. And hopefully you guys are all doing really great. I haven't done a live stream in a very long time, to be honest. And it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So kind of worked out though. And I know that people are all hyped up about it and excited about where everything's at right now. So I appreciate though everybody checking it out. It's been a long couple of days as I was up in Fayetteville for the Razorback baseball game yesterday because I was doing a live show up there for 1037 The Buzz. So I did that, and then I decided to come back and after the game get back down to Little Rock, and then I had to hang out at the Saracen Casino Resort all day today, which was awesome. So it's been a day. It's been a couple of days, but appreciate everybody tuning in and watching and going to be a part of it too, because I know that there is so many things going on. And I guess as long as you can see me and as long as you can hear me, then we're going to be good. But real quick before we dive into it, though, as far as what all is going on, just want to remind everybody to please subscribe on YouTube if you can to Locked On Razorbacks. Just trying to build the YouTube channel, and we're doing a really good job of it so far. So be sure to check it out that way. You can also subscribe and find Locked On Razorbacks podcast wherever podcasts are found in that regard too. So either way, again, appreciate everybody checking it out and being a part of it. It's so much fun. But either way, let's dive into it. Let's dive into it, shall we? I got hit up more today than I think I ever have when it comes to everyone wanting to know what's going on. And it was really funny to me because I saw the news, or at least the big thing that people were discussing and checking out and wanting to talk about it. And so I haven't started anything. Everybody's in the comments. By the way, Cody, I'll upload this to the channel. It'll be stuck there, so don't worry. I'll make sure it's up there. And then so again, I haven't discussed anything. So those of you just joining, it's okay. Like we'll get into it. Don't worry. But basically the news came down where earlier today, and I'm just going to walk everybody through it because we know with Razorback basketball, and we've talked about it on the podcast now for quite a while, that you had Darian Ford Darian Ford enter into the transfer portal just a couple days ago, I guess actually yesterday officially. And when it happened, it kind of was pretty shocking to a lot of people. And people started wondering, okay, why? How does this guy who is all in on Arkansas, says he's coming back to Arkansas, says he's going to, be a Razorback, can't wait to be back in Fayetteville. The dude's riding a horse in a video on social media. Like well, hold on a second. What's going on here? How does this happen? Well, the thing is you kind of got the vibe that it was always going to be like an up and down deal when it comes to who's on the current roster. And I made the joke on my podcast. I'm like, well, and it kind of maybe is actually in reality, where if there's a Razorback graphic from the official Razorback basketball Instagram account, if they put out an official graphic of someone coming back, that means they're for sure coming back. They did it for Trevin Brazil. They did it for Jalen Graham, but they didn't do it for any of the other freshmen or anything like that. So what does that mean? That there's some other issues or there's some other people there too? So I think that was kind of the first thing to happen. So when Darian Ford entered in, just because of the timing of it all, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I had known and I've been hearing things that there are some, still some moves being made as far as bringing more players in. They're still looking into the portal. They're still looking at the possibility of Devo and Jordan Walsh coming back. Like it was all of this stuff to where it could have meant anything because it opened up a scholarship. And there's no doubt that what was going on with Darian Ford is that it was not really his choice. It wasn't I want to leave on my own. It was more like a discussion that happened between him and the coaching staff or whoever was involved and said, you know what, it's probably best if you move on. And, we can sit there and debate about all of it. But when that happened, everyone was like, okay, so what's happening then? Does that mean somebody's coming in? Does that mean something's happening? Because on my podcast, especially, we've talked about the fact that they're still trying to find players. They're still trying to find people that can come into the mix. And they are looking at all different avenues. And I even said that, some of the names and some of the things that get thrown around a little bit may shock some people if you actually heard and knew about the names. Of course, I couldn't give them, but it was just, I was trying to be, and I wasn't saying it for the sake of like, oh, I know so much. It was more for the sake of like, just be on the lookout. Like, this isn't over yet. And they're not done adding players. Just be on the lookout. And with that in mind, I think what happened is the big news came out today of Ron Holland, the 5-star player who Arkansas was really hard in on. Like they were on top of him when it came to him coming to be a Razorback, and he decided to commit to Texas and sign with Texas. Did that with Chris Beard, and we know the Chris Beard falling out happened. And then people were like, okay, well, now Chris Beard got fired. Maybe he'll decommit. Maybe he'll get out of his net letter of intent. But then he stuck with it until today. As he officially put out this message, and I'll read it verbatim so that way there's no misconceptions. Ron Holland said on Twitter, he says, I want to take this time to thank head coach RT and the entire Texas coaching staff for their consideration. I would also like to thank Longhorn Nation for all their love and support. While this has been a difficult process, I have decided to decommit from the University of Texas and reopen my recruitment. Texas will still be one of my top schools of choice. Sure. Okay. Yeah. When I saw that, I laughed because I'm like, man, I just would be really shocked if like your coach got fired from Texas, you stuck with Texas, and then you decommit from Texas, but yet you would still end up staying with Texas. Like I don't see that happening at all. But that's what happened when the news happened. They're like, whoa, all the Razorback fans started freaking out almost because they're just like, oh my goodness, Ron Holland, the second play, like this dude that's a bona fide, like awesome basketball player. And if you look at 24/7 Sports, the number 4 player in the country, number 1 in Texas, he's a power forward. He's 6'8", 195 pounds, had offers to anywhere in the country he wanted to go. When he decommitted, and Arkansas was very much in the running at the end of his commitment, suddenly light bulbs start going up, and it's like, wait a minute, but yeah, Darian Ford decommitted or transferred yesterday. So maybe this is all coming together. Maybe it's all getting put into the way. Like so this is where the freaking out came from. And this is why people were DMing me and like tweeting at me where they're just like, what do you know? What do you know? What's going on? Is this what you're talking about? Is this what you were talking about? Let me be perfectly clear on this, folks. Let me be perfectly clear. I don't know if Ron Holland is coming to Arkansas. No clue. All right. I don't know if he's going to go to, try to go pro, go to like a G League or EYBL or whatever it's called. I don't know if there's just a completely different school that hasn't even been brought up yet that he might be going to. I don't know. So I want everybody to be very clear about it. I don't know what Ron Holland's going to do. However, I do know that if he's available and if he's interested in Arkansas, and if this is some sort of indication of the possibility of him decommitting from Texas because Arkansas is the place, that changes things. That changes things pretty dramatically. And I thought one of the coolest things about it is the fact that Ron Holland played at Duncanville in Texas. And for those of you who may not be aware, Duncanville is where Anthony Black also played. And Anthony Black knows Ron Holland. And when the announcement happened that Ron Holland decommitted from Texas, Anthony Black tweeted out, "Talk to me, Ron," and then tagged him in it. And then the eyeballs here and here. So suddenly that's just blowing everybody's pants off because it's like, okay, hold on a second. Wait a tick. You're telling me that Anthony Black's over here now, I'm like putting some thoughts into our heads that he's going to start recruiting to Arkansas. Like, is that what that means? Is he trying to get him to go to the Razorbacks? Like, it just spurns this energy and this craziness among us all because there's no doubt that we enjoy the transfer portal more than anything. And so it just got everybody wired up. Again, I want to be clear. I don't know about the Ron Holland situation, if he's coming to Arkansas or anything like that. I do not know. But it certainly gives the vibe that Arkansas would be into the mix. a strong team into the mix. And one thing that got brought up to me as well, because just people, everybody's like freaking out. He's like, well, hold on a second. He might go to Ole Miss because that's where Chris Beard is at now. And that was a coach he committed to. And, this, that, and the other. Folks. He might go to Ole Miss, but I severely doubt it. Because if there's one thing that I can tell you, is that with a player of the magnitude of a Ron Holland, it has to be extremely strange or extremely evident, I should say, that NIL is high, very high for someone like Ron Holland to go to. And I don't know if Ole Miss, even with Chris Beard being hired, has the ability to be able to provide NIL for the elite athletes, especially in basketball. They can barely do it with football. Like we've heard Lane Kiffin talk about it and complain about how it's not high enough, it's not good enough, it needs to be better, yada, yada, yada. But that's why I would be shocked if he goes to Ole Miss or if Ole Miss is even a consideration, because it's not like, oh, I was going to go to school A for $1 million or whatever. But Ole Miss over here, because I like Chris Beard that much, they're gonna give me, a couple of bucks and free entry into the library every day. Yeah, I'll go there. I'll play for free. Like that's not going to happen. So it's going to be his big time school. And again, it may be Arkansas, but there's a lot of schools out there, especially in college basketball, that's able to provide a lot of the opportunities that a player to the magnitude of Ron Holland would need. And that's the thing is, I want to dive into this deal real quick because I think we can at least dream and have fun with it, because that's all we're going to do, about what if Ron Holland decided to come to Arkansas. We can do that. But real quick, I just got to give love to one of our big sponsors of Built Bar. And it's that time of year where we're all trying to continue on and eating healthier and having something convenient and be able to eat something that's got high protein but low calories but tastes amazing. That's what Built Bar is all about. 100% covered in dark chocolate. Has different flavors to choose from. You need to check them out today. You can go to Walmart or you can go to Sam's Club and check them out that way. You can see at the boxes that way, or you can go to Built.com. Just go to Built.com, check out the different flavors to choose from. I have one every single day. It's incredible. It's awesome. They taste amazing. I promise you won't be disappointed. So check out all the delicious flavors to choose from with Built Bar at Built.com or at your local Walmart and Sam's Club. All right, so let's dream. Can we have some fun? Are you all cool with us having some fun? Because this is all it's going to be. Again, I just want to continue to make it clear for those who are just joining and try to clip something that I'm saying something like there's nothing that's set in stone about Ron Holland coming to Arkansas. It's just what people are talking about because of all the, dominoes kind of going along with it. People are kind of putting two and two together and thinking that it's going to be a thing. I don't know. But for funsies, let's just say that Arkansas was able to get Ron Holland now that he's officially decommitted. Let's just say for fun that after his decommitment, whether it's tomorrow or whether it's a couple weeks from now, whatever it may be, then Arkansas was able to get Ron Holland. It is already really tough to hold in excitement about Razorback basketball. But if you got to the point where you already have an incredible transfer class, you already have your best player, arguably your best player, coming back next year in Trevin Brazil. You already have pieces in place of true freshmen next season, 2 5-stars, one of them a McDonald's All-American with Bay Fall. And you have, without a doubt, one of the top coaching staffs, especially coaches, in Eric Musselman being a part of your team. And on top of all that, you add Ron Holland. So that would give you 3, once again, 5-stars, 2 of them being McDonald's All-Americans and 2 of them being big men down low. It would be really hard not to have way too high of expectations once again. It would be really difficult. And there's people out there like Joe Lunardi has Arkansas right now as a 2 seed in his early bracketology. We got way too early top 25s where they got Arkansas as a, number 8 team in the country. I think it's what ESPN had them as number 8. Those are the things that they have. So if they were able to add Ron Holland, well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. We're getting weird. Like, it's going to be to where you go from having last year all guards, like, your 5-star were Jordan Walsh, Nick Smith, and Anthony Black, 2 of them being guards, Walsh being the forward. You go from having those types to where now the 2 McDonald's All-Americans that you do have on your roster are big men, or at least post players, forwards, if you will. And then you add in the elite scoring and shooting guards to come along with it. You still got Brazil. It's just almost like, how does that happen? How do you not think that this is a team that has the talent to win a national championship? And people are going to bring up, oh, you said that last year. We all said that last year. What's going to happen? Of course. But folks, I still believe that last season, if you had Brazil and Nick Smith healthy the entire season, you are good enough to win a championship. Shoot, they were good enough to go to a Final Four. I felt like if they hadn't ran into the buzzsaw that was UConn, like, I felt that they were that good. But this is something to where if they were able to add them into the mix and get Ron Holland, because again, it's already a great roster, but add Ron Holland, just, I mean, how do I not go on Airbnb.com and book me a place in Phoenix next season for the Final Four? Like, how do I not do that? How do you not pick Arkansas to be the number 1 team in the SEC next year? How do you not pick Arkansas to be a top 5 team next year? How does the excitement not just go through the roof and you just, everybody just start freaking out? Like, how do you not do that? It'd be tough. So it'll be fun if that happens. It'll be fun. But again, we don't know. Nothing's been official yet. But there's certainly, I believe there's legitimate reason to at least be hopeful. Hopeful. Not certain, not over the top ridiculous, just to be hopeful. Just be hopeful that it all works out and that they're able to get Ron Holland, because if they are, it'll be great. Okay? That's all we got to say. But anyways, folks, Razorback baseball game starting right now. So we'll get off here. But hey, seriously, every one of you that watched, thank you so much. I'm glad we could make this work. Got a ton of people watching in. This was awesome. So subscribe to YouTube on the Locked On Razorbacks page. Maybe we'll do this more often. But thanks for all the comments. Thanks for everyone jumping in. But Razorback baseball is upon us. Let's go get that series win over Texas A&M tonight, shall we? Either way, have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you then.